All right, welcome to the final episode of the Texas 8 tournament coverage here on the Project Get to Know podcast. My name is Emmanuel, and if you haven't noticed, we went back to the regular format of intros leading up to today's episode. It was a very labor intensive episode from yesterday and Monday, doing a lot more stuff that I'm involved with the prior two episodes. That's why it was 1-to-1. If you've noticed, watching it on YouTube and listening to Spotify. But today we're back. We're back to me saying intros again on this podcast, and we're finishing up the Texas 8 tournament. Then Jak Calloway, based in the Bryan-College Station area with Lions Pride and with New Texas in Houston. And it was a very fun conversation to have with someone who's very much excited being on this Texas 8 tournament, and along the guys who are participants and representatives of their city. So, yeah, I can't wait to really delve into this conversation with him. And we talk about what's it like wrestling in Bryan and moving things over to Houston and wrestling in Austin. But of course, with the Texas 8 being in Austin and sharing his experiences wrestling in the Austin area. So this was a fun little week. It got a little intense because I'm actually balancing my work, my actual work with doing stuff here. So I wouldn't trade anything for this moment. And yeah, my voice is very shot still, as you can see. But you can follow Jak Calloway, New Texas, Biss, Kiefer Bartek, and myself. It will be on the show notes. And I'm going to ramble again if I say anything more, but here is our conversation with Jak Calloway. Okay, so if you caught the announcement video on Saturday, the giveaway was there. And this guy, I've been meaning to have you on for quite some time, but we're finally going to get Jak Calloway. So if you saw the announcement video, I was wearing maroon. And maroon is associated with Texas A&M and College Station. So that's if you hadn't caught that by now, you probably would have known who the guy is going to be participating on the T8. And what better way to have that participant than to have Jak Calloway on? How are you?
I'm great, man. Yeah, I've been wanting to get on here for a while. Just what you do for us as a whole scene, it doesn't go unnoticed. All the boys talk about you.
Thank
I'm
you.
really excited to do this.
All right. So it's kind of interesting because I'm in Austin, so that has its own wrestling scene. I'm fortunate to be with New Texas and Reality of Wrestling over in Houston. Bryan is kind of a border town between those two wrestling scenes. What makes Bryan and College Station such a unique wrestling scene compared to what's already big in Houston and what's big in Austin?
So, I mean, you kind of said it. It's in between everything. I talked to Dan Miller about this a long time ago, and as a young up and comer, it's kind of the best place to be because once you start getting booked in Austin and Houston, and Waco, Dallas, it's kind of that middle ground where okay, like Austin's about an hour and 40, Houston's about an hour and 30. Dallas, instead of being a 6 hour ride for the Houston boys, like me now, it's only like a 3 hour drive. So
Right.
I think between that and then also the mind of Houston Carson, who was widely known in Austin and he made his way down to Houston too, it's just kind of, I think it's the best place for a beginner. And I think it's a good a good icebreaker into other scenes because people know who Houston Carson is and he has a good relationship with other promoters and yeah, I think it's just that Central Texas, if I could say it like that, is the middle ground of Texas, it's the heart of Texas, and I think that's what makes College Station Bryan special.
Because how is the fan base like? Because we'll delve into movie wrestling in Austin, but um, being in the scene in basically the border between a lot of these larger promotions, how is the fan base like wrestling in Lions Pride too? Because I had Mia on for a bit, and how was the fan base like to you wrestling over in that area in Bryan-College Station?
Yeah, it's definitely different. You know, Houston's a little bit harder, and Austin's they're more hardcore for wrestling.
Mm,
In Bryan and College Station, they're a little bit more family friendly. But the thing I love most about our fans over in Bryan and College Station is just they're loyal, and
mm.
they when they love you, they love you. When they boo you, they boo you. It, I really do. I genuinely just love the fans there because over my time there, they've watched me grow and they come and talk to me after each match and just, oh, I'm so proud of you. I've watched this, I watched that. I can't be out there, but I always watch your stuff. And you can't be more appreciative of that. I mean, just they're really good fans and they get what we do. So
Because
I think that's cool. Yeah.
so, and what I find fascinating too is um, Lions Pride has been that's its own school on its own. Like how much of what you've done as a wrestler been accredited to the Lions Den?
I mean, I I I I owe everything to them. Obviously, I have JJ now and Kiefer. Those are my mentors now, but Houston got me started. And then also, I was lucky enough to come up with Shimbashi, Matthias, Zane Valero, Mia Friday, and then guys coming in from Row, guys coming in from New Texas. I got to watch a lot of great talent grow around me and then shoot out just like I did. So I mean, I can't thank Houston and Lions Pride enough. I always try to support them. I always try to go back to do shows and yeah, I credit it for everything.
Okay, and sprouting out. Of course, you mentioned branching out, and the Texas Eight is in Austin. So I want to see from your perspective. Do you remember your first time working in Austin?
Yeah, lucky enough, I got to work on Inspire.
Oh, okay.
That was my first time ever being in downtown Austin too, on top of that. So, I went and watched Inspire a couple times, I think 4 or 5, and then Biss walked up to me and was like, let's just open those floodgates, let's get you on. And I was just
Ah,
like it was the show to be on, and it still is. Austin is different. It's just the fans, they might be the best fans in Texas wrestling. I love my Houston fans, but there's something about the Austin fans that they just get it. And they've seen talent from MJF, Ricky Starks, Keith Lee. They've seen talent like that just boom and get on TV. So I mean, Austin, it's probably my second favorite place to wrestle.
because I'm kind of curious where you mentioned Brian having loyalty, and Austin is a melting pot out of Texas. And the fan base that you've seen, whether it's Inspire or another wrestling show there, the crowds during the matches that you've worked on, is there any difference or is there similarities to what you've seen while you were working at Lions Pride and over at Bryant?
Yeah, so I think the biggest difference is two things. One, they're way more hardcore.
Mm,
They love their wrestling. They know what they're watching. They know what they want to see. Um, they love wrestling. And then two is they want to be involved more. They want to be involved. When you see the top guys in Texas work there, they're getting the crowd involved. And I'm always in awe of people that can control the audience. And Austin is just begging every time you walk into Empire or even pinballs with Baracho, they're just begging to be brought in. They're
mm.
just they're just begging to be a part of the show. And there's a lot of people that know how to do it and there's a lot of people learning how to do it. And I'm one of those guys trying to learn.
Is it interactive, you think, with the
Oh,
crowd interaction?
100%.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
When you notice that interactivity, what was that like for a fan to like, of course with faces, you do a high fives, or if you interact as a heel, when was that moment for you that clicked wrestling in Austin?
I think, honestly, to unfortunately give him credit is Danny Orion. Anytime you watch his matches, he just gets everyone involved, and I mean Brick too. Brick watching him, uh, Devin Carter watching them. I mean, there's just people I watch that I'm like, God dang, like I need to take that. I need to work on that. And I do my own thing and get them in, but I'm only 3 years into the game. This is my third year
Okay.
into wrestling on live shows. So like it's such a learning curve, but Austin is the best about wanting to be a part of the show,
How
hands
about you
down.
personally? Like, when was a match for you that you got? Like, you get how very much involved the fans are.
So I would say one of the biggest ones there was probably the triple threat match with Effie. I think it's CJC and I can't remember the last person. But anytime Effie's there and just watching them, I'm just they just know what they're doing. Effie knows what they're doing, and that was just one of those moments because I think that was one of my first inspires. I was like, okay, so there's levels to this, and like, wow, okay, these people want to be entertained by this guy. So yeah, that's one of those matches where I was like, oh okay, and then obviously like I said, Danny Ryan and Brick. Each time I see them, I'm like, okay, they know what they're doing. They just know.
How about, because I was thinking about that too, the Proving Grounds storyline and with JJ, was that the moment for you where like, holy crap, I got it? Like, okay, like to be in the match yourself within the Proving Grounds storyline, was that the moment when you're like, oh, okay, I got
Yeah, because I mean, they don't like JJ. They hate JJ. I mean, I've seen him get booed places, but never like that in Austin. I mean, Austin is on a whole nother level of hating JJ.
Okay.
And I mean, every time I'd come out, it'd be just beat him up, hurt him. I'm like, well, this is my mentor. I can't just,
Straight bullet.
yeah, I can't just slap the guy. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely one. That was a learning lesson of like, yeah, they want what they want, and they need you to do it now. They don't want multiple shows. They need it now. I'm like, hold on, guys, let me get there.
Because oh man, that one surprised me the most because I wasn't expecting heat from that much, but to have the boos and cheers like get to you, I was like, man, Jack, man, I'm like, you better turn face very soon so you'll get the other way around.
Yeah, I don't want that runoff from him. Jeez.
And because it's nice to see your stuff too, and with the T8, because that one was, because I mean, this is the whole week we're talking about the Texas 8, and we have the 8 guys ready. And the one thing that caught me by surprise is you were called last. And oftentimes it is saving the best for last to be in this tournament. And we'll pull back the curtain a little bit when Kiefer and Bist approached you and saying, hey, we're going to put on this tournament for you. When they gave you that DM or email or a message to saying you're going to be a part of it, what was it like getting that call to be in the tournament?
So Biss told me that he's got something going, and he has an opponent in mind. And this was last year. They were scheming,
Okay.
and I was just like, okay, well, yeah, I'm there. I'm there for you. I try to be very loyal and like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. And then Kiefer starts telling me about the idea, and then Biss tells me, oh, you're going against Exodus,
Mm.
and I'm just like, what is this? And then they just start describing it. It's a
Shock.
Texas 8. Yeah, you're gonna represent Central Texas, and I'm like, oh my god, like so seeing all the promos and seeing everyone talk about it, and um in my mind I kind of thought, man, I'm kind of the dark horse here because
Mm.
I am a 2 times Lions Pride Sports champion, but each guy in the match, every other guy is a multiple time champion, and very well known in their respective areas. And I feel like I'm just now breaking out and getting out there to show my name. And I feel like these guys, besides Cosmo, I hate to say that, but besides Cosmo,
He's not
um,
in this interview, so let's just go with that.
besides Cosmo, I feel like I'm kind of the odd man out. I like to say the dark horse of this tournament because I watch everyone's watching what people are saying.
Mm.
Oh, X is gonna make it to the finals with Jay Davis, or Danny Ryan's gonna make it with Epi to the finals, or this guy, and I'm like, hey, I'm in this. I'm gonna give it 110% because it's just like the proving grounds. It's a chance to prove myself to the state of Texas. I think this is the most important event of the year, and it's gonna be hard to top this. I think it's starting a new bar and a new history to Texas wrestling, and I can't begin to say how blessed I am to be a part of this.
To have that chip in your shoulder,
Yeah.
and how much of that has, I wouldn't say weight on you, but how much has it that builds you leading up to the tournament?
I mean, I put a lot of pressure on myself already. I want to be the very best. I don't want to just be a guy on the scene. I want to be the very best. I want to be one of the guys when you talk about Texas wrestling. Oh, you remember that Jak Calloway kid? Like, I want to be in those conversations. So I do put a lot of pressure on myself to perform, to win. I've already won one tournament this year, the One for All tournament with Axe, and
Mm.
I just beat him to move on to face Carter Blaq. But my thing about winning this tournament, it's not about the prize at the end. It's about being the guy in Texas. Because I think you win this, you are the guy in Texas. And just
Eh,
that's just my opinion.
yeah, and one thing I noticed too is the promo that you had announcing it,
The best
and
promo, in my
oh,
opinion. The best promo. I hate to say that, but I think it
no,
was the best one.
it's your work. I am not against that, but to have everyone involved in the Lions Den and all of the guys that you've met, whether it's you're training them or you're working with them, how much has the Lions Den been such a it's a nice little addition to what you're doing in the promo.
It was cool. I mean, I started off with I was born and raised in Houston. I lived in Greenspoint. I've lived all over Houston. So like having that little part, I always knew that when I was going to make this video, I have to shout out Houston for being where I was, born and raised. But as a wrestler, that's not where I was created. I was created in College Station. I was created in Bryan
Mm,
by those guys and girls just grinding it out in this hot warehouse. And I mean, I think I spent almost 2 years just training, not even on a show yet.
right.
So I take a lot of pride in where I'm from and representing them and showing them, hey, look, guys, I love Lions Pride. This is a great place to start, but look what you can do. Look how you can represent Lions Pride. You can put us on the map, and that's what I love about this tournament is not only do I represent Central Texas, which I think is truly the heart and soul of Texas, the only place in Texas that's not touched by other outside things. I get to represent Lions Pride sport. Again, I might not have the title, but I get to represent the company, and I love representing companies. I love being the guy that someone goes, "Hey, I need you to represent us."
Mm.
Of course, 100%. Whatever I can do to represent any brand out there, I will do it to my fullest.
Because now that the tournament is close and there's seven other guys, and whatever circumstance you have, Exodus, uh, you go over with Exodus that Sunday. Who else are you wanting and waiting to face? I mean, the bracket is already set, but who is the who are other people that you want to face within the bracket when it happens?
So each of them have their own something connected to them. I want. Uh, Cosmo, for example, I would love for him to move on just so he can even put his name out there more.
Mm.
Cosmo is a talented wrestler. He's a talented person. He wrestled Mustafa Ali recently. I mean, the guy belongs, and I think he should be booked more in Texas,
Hmm.
in general. Then there's Danny. Well, Danny attacked me and Ollie at Baracho,
Oh, that's right.
and
I
then
forgot
talk
about that. I
and
forgot
then
about that.
talk crap about me
Forgot
over
about
my
that.
body, about I'm Texas A, blah blah blah, this and that. Well, he's got a wedding to worry about.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't think
Okay.
his mind's really on the tournament. He's got all these bigger bookings. He's a big superstar now. So I mean, I would love to just beat him and take him down a peg.
Right.
Um, and then on the other side of the bracket, Jay, he was a Texas Contenders champion. That title means a lot to me. I know it's not like this, but in my mind, I'm a Texas Contenders guy.
Mm.
I am a part of New Texas, but I'm a Texas Contenders guy. And I always jokingly in my mind, I always think it's Texas Contenders versus New Texas.
Mm.
It's us young guys versus these older vets, and we're proving ourselves every day. And I love the brand Texas Contenders. So versing him in the finals, I mean, that would be amazing. I think that's just a story right there.
Right.
Epi, obviously, one of the best in the state. Same with Casey. Those two guys with United being champions and just displaying. I mean, Casey's got what, 5 titles?
4 or 5. Yeah. So
Four or
I think
five? I
a
mean,
lot.
that's crazy.
Yeah. I think no, it's 5. I think it's 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Epi, again, he's connected to United. So those guys connected to United. Um, I really love United. I love the message that they send. I love how much they prove people wrong. Oh, that's a backyard show? No. United is amongst the best promotions in the state. And then Ethan, he has the new Baracho title, the 6 shooter, whatever
Yeah. 6 shooter. Yep.
I just think
Straight
that's a
shooter. Straight
perfect.
shooter. Straight shooter.
Yeah, I think that's just a perfect. I think that's a perfect belt for me. Like, I know that's like I'm calling out all these
It's
different things,
silly,
but
but
like,
it makes sense.
yes, I always do the bang. I always do the gun poses. So wrestling him would be nice. So anyone would be awesome, but luckily enough, I get to wrestle someone that I would much rather wrestle out of anyone in the bracket, and that's Exodus.
Mm.
I think if you seeded this, he would be number one. In my
Right.
opinion, he's the vet. He's the guy that's been wrestling more than anyone else in the tournament, and I have to wrestle him.
Right.
That's my first opponent. I think wrestling Exodus, win, lose or draw, it's a win for me because I'm going to learn and I'm going to push myself harder because I know he's going to push himself because he's in this tournament to prove himself. Hey,
Mm.
like, yeah, you young guys are cool and good and upstarts, but this is my state, and that's how I think he's approaching this. And I'm not afraid to take the ball and run with it because I want to be the best.
How has adversity shaped you, and especially with the Texas Heat tournament, to have adversity be such one of the forefronts in your career? How will the Texas Eight, sorry, well, how will the Texas Eight be shaping you in in your time of adversity leading up to Sunday?
I've been besides winning the One for All tournament, I've been on kind of like a skid.
Mm.
I lost the tag titles for just vibing. I lost the contender. I lost winning the contender title to O'Day. I've had a couple of different like downfalls, but what's beautiful about wrestling is it only takes one moment to get back on top, and that's what
Mm.
this tournament means to me. Winning this, like I said, makes me one of the best. Gets
Right.
my name talked about. It makes people realize, hey, Jak Calloway is something serious. And I don't care win, lose, or draw. People will be walking out of that building talking about me, talking about my name, talking about what I'm doing next. And I think that's what makes this tournament special. I'm taking this very serious. I think it's, like
Right.
I said, I think it's one of the most important things in Texas wrestling history. So I take this very serious. I don't know how the other guys are thinking about it, but I take it very serious, and I think it's a very big jump in my career.
So it basically just like it really ups your credibility
Yeah.
being a wrestler. That's what I'm gathering from what you're saying prior.
Yeah, no, I think it I mean, it's gonna boost everything, and then people can see, hey, man, this guy can hang. Oh, this guy can wrestle 3 times in a night.
Mm.
Well, maybe I'll give him this name, or I'll give him that name, or maybe I can consider him as a champion for my company. I just want to represent everything about Texas wrestling, and then continue to move up. Um, I think Texas is one of the best states for wrestling. So, being in this tournament, displaying my skills, showing what we're about, that's
Okay.
what this tournament means.
All right. So we're close to wrapping up with Sunday being on the horizon. Hype us up on this tournament, and what can you do to be that number one contender once the finals show up on the Texas 8? So you have the floor.
So, if you're not in Austin next Sunday, if you're not, you're missing out on history. Not only is there 8 people thriving to wrestle for, in my opinion, this might make people mad, the title of Texas, the new Texas Pro World Heavyweight Championship is the title of Texas. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what company. It's been defended in England, in Germany. It's been defended by some of the greatest names to move up on TV. Every person that's touched that title has been great and has greatness. So missing this tournament, I it's the show you can't miss. This is the one show of the year that if you're missing it, you're gonna have FOMO. It's gonna be talked about for a long time. And then on top of that, we have Starboard Charlie coming in. We have Maggie Lee who just signed to TNA.
Yep.
We have all these other
Yep.
big matches on the card, and we're doing a tournament the same night. I'm trying to wrap my head around everything. So, what more hype do you need besides? Oh yeah, there's also special things going to happen. There's going to be special announcements. The tailgate, it has BDSM and Rachel Rose versus Devin Carter. And then that's a tailgate match. That's a main show match in my opinion. So what more hype do you need besides knowing that Jak Calloway is going to go to the finals and I'm going to win? And it's not for the number one contendership. It's to be said that I am the best in Texas and I won the first ever Texas 8 tournament.
Okay, awesome. So Sunday, April 6th, New Texas Austin is holding the Texas 8 tournament. So this is going to be the first of its kind to be in Texas to have this tournament style, spanning all of the regions here in Texas. So it's not just Austin, it's not just the major cities, but the regions that are there. So April 6th, it will be at the Empire Control Room and Garage here in Austin. That Sunday, that light is going to shine so bright. Hopefully, everyone from Cedar Park all the way up, they'll see that there is a wrestling match happening this Sunday. And I do want to thank you to Jack for having you on. And it only takes, like, I'm glad you mentioned that. It only takes one. And having your announcement with being a participant and seeing how a little glimpse of your career is going to be highlighted here on the podcast. And I have nothing left to give because I'm going to ramble if I say anything more. You have the floor. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything. It's just Jak Calloway. I luckily have gotten just Jak Calloway. I don't have to do like 1, 2, 3 or 21. I just got Jak Calloway. So that's where you can find me. And then Houston, that's where I'm really based at. But I mean, this Sunday, I'm coming for it all. That's my biggest thing to leave with is I'm coming to take it all.
Okay. So we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming on this week. So I want to thank Biss, Kiefer, and you, Jack, to have you on for this really special week leading up to the Texas 8 tournament happening in the Empire Control Room and Garage in Austin this Sunday. And thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're on Spotify, YouTube, or on iHeartRadio. And we'll be back on Monday with our programming. And we're on to the next one.